Hi guys, it is your girl Leomie Anderson here, and I am back with yet another LAPP X Flannels International Women's Day interview with my girl Ciara London, who has been keeping me fit during lockdown. So I had to bring her on. How are you, my love? And how have you been during this time?
Good, thank you, babe. I'm tired.
Yeah.
I've been like, well, same as you. You've been exercising like mad. So yeah, I'm the same because I'm on the other side of the camera. But I'm really good. I'm really good. It's been a crazy year.
It has. I honestly feel like you're one of the people that whenever I talk about someone who's turned lockdown from a negative to a positive and who's won lockdown, it is you. So for those of you at home who have not joined Ciara's Body Squad, she has a private Instagram page where she has personal training sessions via Instagram Live. And you have how many trainers now?
17.
17 trainers, 17. Over 40 plus classes a week, guys. I attend about 3 to 5. 5 on a...
You did good. 5 is good.
5 is good.
5 is good.
5 is good, but then sometimes it's just like I have to just give it a little break. Like when I was, you know, trying to renovate my house and all that sort of stuff, I just kind of gave up. I couldn't be bothered. I was like, I'll get back into it when I get back into my house. But since I've been in my house, I've been back on it.
Space. I've seen your little like workout section. Yeah,
exactly.
And that and a resistance band and
Exactly.
It's really exciting. It's exciting being able to work from home and it's exciting being able to work from your own home. So well done. Congratulations.
No, thank you very much. Thank you. And honestly, like, what were you thinking when you very first started doing these lockdown classes? What was your mindset? And also, what gave you the confidence to be like, okay, I'm going to do this program. I'm going to go on live every day consistently, because I know for a fact that that's something that not a lot of people would feel comfortable and confident doing as well. So can you just walk me through that?
I was not confident doing it. I was honestly like so scared. I was so scared.
Right.
Online is something that I've never like, I've always, you know, I've had Instagram, same as you, but I've never ventured into online. So for me, it was just like the thought of the trolls. I don't know what people will say. It was just really like, it was scary. But it was one of those things that was do or die. And if I don't go online when the gyms are shut, you know, there's no other way of, you know, accessing humans. So, you know, I think any business, if they haven't converted their business in some way, shape or form to online this year, they probably would have struggled. So it was really, I was backed up against the wall and it was like a last resort and it was the best thing I ever did.
I started following you after my best friend Imani suggested that I do your workouts. Yeah. So it was actually, April of last year. And it was probably one of the best things that I did, because prior to joining your classes, for me, I'm kind of naturally toned, so I didn't really, not that I didn't care to work out, but it wasn't my main priority. Yeah. But once I started to work out with your classes, I realized that it actually helped my mental health so much during lockdown. And not only that, but because Body Squad creates a community, you feel like you're working out with other people, which is a really nice feeling. So actually, let's talk about the community that is Body Squad. What has Body Squad done for you as an individual, and what do you feel that Body Squad does for each individual that's part of the community?
For me, it's given me a sense of purpose. You know, like at a time when, before lockdown happened, I was training like 12 to 14 girls a day in a gym.
Really?
7 days a week. So I've always been like busy. And when lockdown first happened, I thought like, what am I gonna do? Like, I'm one of those people, like, even if I finish, it's like, okay, you're like me. We're like always, even if I message you at like 11 o'clock at night, you always come online and reply, you know, like you're always on it. And I feel like I initially was like, I don't know what to do. I can't even sit still. You know, like I'm such an antsy person. So it gave me something to wake up for. It gave me some structure to my day. And I think that is what it initially gave everyone else. It was more like, okay, cool. I've got somewhere to check in. I've got a workout at 12 o'clock. I've got somewhere to be at 5 because I've got a workout at 5. Or it just gave everyone a little bit of structure at a time when all of their structure was gone. You know, like they didn't have a routine anymore, and it's suddenly, you know, what am I gonna do to kind of get through the day? But I think over time, it's become so much more than that.
100%.
people have made friends, you know, like I feel like I have international friends now. And I think that's what people have needed this year. They've needed to feel connected to other people. And this was just a platform to do that.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like during this time and seeing what Body Squad is doing, it just brings home that message of female empowerment and that we should all unite and support one another. Whether it is that you join the squad because you have a certain fitness goal that you want to achieve, or you join because you want to have a routine, whatever the case may be, you're in a workout class with minimum a couple hundred people, or even if it's just a few people, depending on what class it is, it doesn't make a difference because you're working out with somebody and you feel connected to someone. And I feel like the squad really embodies girls supporting girls, women supporting women, and just spreading love. And especially with social media having that dark side that it can do, I feel like what Body Squad represents to me is the positive, the most positive manifestation of social media.
Well, it's funny you just said manifestations, because I'm big on manifestations. I'm big on I feel like we're very alike in certain senses. And I went for a walk to a road that I really want to live on, and I literally took pictures of a few houses, and I was like this is the road. And then I'm like Googling, like, okay, what does this cost? How long will it take me to get there? So thinking more long term, think more 5 years, 10 years. Let's not think about next year. Let's not think about this year. It's not about like just doing a workout to get to like your holidays. Yes, exactly. Like, because we don't know. This summer might still be written off. Next summer might still be written off. But within the next couple of years, we will go back to normal and things will be okay. And it's just like trying to find a way to like boost people's morale, because that's what's really needed right now. I think just like a little bit of hope.
See, guys, sometimes it's not always about having short-term goals. And I feel like this year, or well, over a year now, has taught us that we need to stop thinking about the instant gratification that I think that social media really does push usually. It does usually push just having lifestyle, having money, having this, having that, but not really thinking about like long-term goals or long-term graft. And I think that by creating long-term fitness goals with Body Squad, you've actually shown people as well that it's not always about just clicking your fingers and getting what you want. It's also about putting the work in and seeing the fruits of your labor over time, which is something that I don't feel is actually really heavily promoted on social media anymore.
And not with surgery at the moment. You know, like there's such, across the last 5 years really, but let's say 10 years, especially like in America and stuff like that. The UK is a little bit slower, but now, you know, there is such a boom in young girls and women. I'm sure men too, but, you know, I can speak for women because I know that's, you know, who I'm interacting with on this topic. And there's such a boost in people going and having surgical procedures to chase this image. You know, there are so many brands online where when I'm shopping, I'm literally shopping, and that model has a completely, a surgery sculpted body. So then the clothes arrive, I put them on, and I'm like,
doesn't even fit.
This doesn't look like the model, because we're being sold a body that doesn't exist.
Yeah, it's not realistic.
It's not achievable. Yeah. It's not achievable. And I think that one thing that the squad has shown is that you can achieve, you can be the best version of you.
Yeah.
And it's like learning to accept yourself, and understanding that actually it's about putting in hard work. It's about doing your exercise. These things don't
happen overnight.
They don't happen overnight. And I think we are such a generation of quick fixes. Everyone just wants everything now. Everyone wants to be rich. Everyone wants to be gorgeous.
Yep.
Everyone wants to be flawless. Everyone wants to have a massive bum and a tiny waist. And, I'm sure men, I can't speak on behalf of men, but I'm sure there's things that they want too.
Yeah, it's true.
And, we see these unrealistic presentations of what humans look like in 2021, and it's not real. So I think it's really important to have a community where we can actually bounce ideas off each other, have discussions, and be like, do you know what? Just leave that. Stop trying to just be you, put in the work, and we're going to get some amazing results that will look like you.
The best version of yourself, not something that you've seen on a screen that you're trying to attain. And I think that's really what I think that's what fitness should really be about. It should be about trying to be the best version of yourself, not trying to be somebody else or replicate somebody else's body. And I think that that's a message that's usually really pushed on Instagram, like try and look like this or do what I'm doing so you can get a body like this. But I feel like Body Squad is really positive because it's a variety of different women all interacting. We all have different goals and different reasons for being there. But the thing that keeps us coming back isn't because we want to have an unattainable body. It's because we're together in something, and that to me is more important than just trying to attain like a particular look that is just not achievable for everybody. And to be honest, it's not achievable for most people, as you said, because it's not a natural figure.
A lot of people have said that as well. Like, there's an idea that fit needs to look fit. It has to come with abs, and it has to come, you know, like with a sculpted six pack and like big muscles. But if that's not true, and I've learned that through teaching classes and teaching, like, you know, when I was teaching classes, I was seeing like sometimes 500 women a week just on classes, you know, like, so I learned that like actually fit girls come in all different, you know, shapes and sizes. And like some of my girls, you might not see them and initially think that they train in the gym or they train hard. And these girls will squat 100, 120 kg. You know, like, you couldn't do that. Like, not you. I'm not, you know, you, well, not you, but like, you know, but the point is, like, it's sort of breaking stereotypes and understanding that, like, we are all worthy and we are all perfect as we are. And if there is something that you want to improve on, like, I'm here to help you improve, but that's your decision. That's not for me to tell you. You know, like, I have certain things about myself that I want to improve on, but I don't want you to tell me what they are. You know, like, that's for me to decide because I'm me and I am not your business. Do you know what I mean? Like, not your business.
No,
again. So
she's talking to you guys.
Yeah, I'm talking. Listen, but you know, and I think that's just really important because I think that often there can be, you know, such a culture of like just backdated like misogyny and stuff like that where women feel like they're not good enough or they don't look right for this or they'd be embarrassed to go into like the weight section of the gym. And that's why a lot of people love the squad because I can do this in secret at home with my hair like in a wrap or in a pineapple bun or like, you know, in my pajamas and with my spots out, and I don't need to worry about the guys behind me or like, you know, the really fit girl in the gym who's kind of giving me looks, making me feel like I don't belong here. So I think it's been amazing to like make something like fitness so accessible and for people to like almost build up their confidence in the privacy of their own homes.
Yeah, honestly, I think that what you do is so great because you do, even if you don't realize it, you make people feel so good about themselves and make them realize that actually some of the insecurities that they were feeling were due to the environment that they were trying to, you know, work out in the first place, or their first steps or first relationships with fitness and working out was actually highlighting their insecurities or making them not feel comfortable. I think that Body Squad is a great introduction for anybody to start fitness because, as you said, you can just do it by yourself. You can do it, but you're actually not by yourself. That's the bottom line, and that's the beauty that's so amazing about the squad. So you, I feel, do so much for other people. What do you like to do when you're taking time for yourself? Because, as you said, you're a busy, busy girl. So how do you find time for yourself? And when you do have time for yourself, what are you doing?
I mean, that's the problem. That's really like, that's something I'm trying to work through. And actually my therapist, I had therapy yesterday and my therapist had a go at me and she was like, you are, and she was like, technically, like I've launched 2 companies across the last year. And this is like, as much as we talk about it, like, you know, it was kind of accidental, but, you know, accidentally on purpose.
But it's still...
They're big, they've sort of become big companies. Yeah, like there's a lot. I have now 29 people working for me in total. And there's a lot to do. And on top of that, I'm doing all the social media. I've got a lot of brand stuff going on. And I'm actually physically doing the workouts myself. Then I'm sort of creating the content and, you know, doing everything else. And it's really, really, really hard. And she said this yesterday. She was like, you're doing all of these things and... You know, I've had a headache for the last 2 weeks. Just from stress. Like, I was launching some products and the whole of my neck was like seizing up the other day. And I am really bad at finding that balance. You know, often I'm sitting there at 12 o'clock at night, like doing some sort of work. Yeah,
God, you're triggering me. I'm like, I went to bed at like 2:30 this morning because of LAPP, so I understand.
Yeah, and in a, you know, in a sense, I do believe that when you are launching a business, you know, like most people say that you're not going to make profit within the first year and stuff like that. So, and that is when you're going to work the hardest, and that's when you're going to be putting in the hours, and you do need to sacrifice things, but at the same time, at what cost? And I think I'm starting to now see that I need to learn to pull back a little bit. I think that now I've got the wheels are turning.
Yeah, you need to find time.
Yeah, I need to find time. I've really struggled with that, but this year has been so manic. So I feel like now I'm going to be able to start to take my foot off the pedal a little bit. But it's scary, you know, like there's also, and you will know this with LAPP, there's a lot of competition out there, and you slow down, they speed up, and then before you know it, boom, like.
I know, but that's one thing that we need to work on and kind of like, not get out of our heads, but we need to remember that we really are in our own lane, and that we are unique, and there's only us that can do us and be us. And I completely agree with you and understand that feeling of I can't stop until I've got it to a certain place, and then the market always keeps moving because you want to achieve new goals as well. So I fully understand that, but we need to remember, like, no one's going to be able to replace you because you've built something so unique and so you that even if someone else was to come and start trying to do something that's similar to you, or try to start another athleisure brand or whatever, that's fine because that's going to be their own lane. But I think that when you're a businesswoman, it's so easy to look around and be like, no, I need to keep going, and I need to keep going because people are doing this and doing that. Trust me, I know.
It's the look over the shoulder. Yeah, it's the look over the shoulder. Yeah,
but
it's like I'm not turning my whole head.
Yeah, it's just like
but I know that you're there. I'm
not even gonna turn. I'm just looking at my parking sensors and seeing your back there. I get it. Trust me, I do. But we need to find time because we don't want to experience burnout.
Yeah. There's actually a quote, one of my favourite quotes, and you're probably going to be like, oh, that's so generic. And it is generic because it's a bit of a meme type quote, but I love the point in the quote, and that is that there is only one you, and that is your power. And I think that there's so much meaning in that and truth. Like, there is only one Leomie, there is only one Ciara, and that is something that's really important to focus on. And I think that the problem is, not just me, I think women, I say this, I think it's generational and generational and generational. We are kind of like the new era of women. Within the last 20 to 10 years, things are really, changing, and women are becoming powerful CEOs. And, just recently I read a story about the CEO of Bumble. She floated it on the stock market, and now she's, I don't know if she's one of the richest women in the world. But
yeah, she is, I think.
And things like that, I find that so inspiring and so amazing. And I watched in a film recently, there was a good quote, like, I can't remember the exact quote, but it's from My Big Fat Greek Wedding. So I'm not going to act like this is something like,
No, but good film.
Good film.
Can't slay it.
One of the things that the guy said, he was talking about his brother, and he said, the more successful that I got, the more he hated me. And he was like, an optimist will see your success and it will give them hope.
Yeah.
But a pessimist will see your success and it will remind them of their own failures. And I thought that was so true. And I'm really an optimist.
Yeah.
I think in life, I have my moments where I'm like,
as we all do.
We all do. Like, we all throw our toys out the pram sometimes and have a little breakdown and then get ourselves back together.
Mine was just last week.
Yeah, like me too, baby. There was a full moon, so I think it was that. Let's just say, yeah. So, but I think it's really important to remember that, because now I see people like you, and and I'm like, Leomie is doing so well, and everything you do, I love, and I feel like that's why we have such a mutual, a balanced relationship, because it's like I support you, you support me, and we kind of want to elevate each other. And I think that now is the time to and this is what the squad is like. It's a community of women. There is no bitchiness.
Yeah.
And if I see it, you will be removed and you can just go, goodbye. Because you know, you are the culture that you create.
Yeah.
So like we've created a culture now where there's zero tolerance when it comes to like, you know, any sort of negativity.
You put out and radiate energy and then you receive it back. So I think that to anybody who's watching this, if you ever have times when you're feeling negative or you're feeling down, that's completely natural. But I think definitely being aware of that and being aware of how you can make other people feel will in turn make you feel better as well, because if you radiate negativity, that person is now going to be giving it back to you and then you're stuck in a cycle. I think it's really important to break that cycle. So yeah, very good points with that. And talking about toxic people, I know you've spoken very frankly and openly about your previous relationship and how it was not good. So after removing yourself from such a toxic environment, how did you gain back your confidence?
Yeah, it's funny because I was actually having this conversation very recently, and the more that you talk about things like these, the more you realise how many other people are affected by it.
Yeah.
I have 2 close members of my family who've also been in abusive relationships. So that's 3 of us. I mean, what are the chances?
Yeah.
You know, like, so that suggests to me that actually statistically it's going on quite frequently.
Yeah,
and
a lot.
Yeah, I was in a really, really, really horrible relationship for 7 years. So it was like majority of my 20s, I think from like 19, 20 to like 26, 27, which like initially when I first got out of it, I was like, oh my God, I regret it so much. Like I regret like wasting that time. I wish I had my 20s back, and I wish that didn't happen. And now, God, I'm going to get emotional. God, don't make me emotional.
Don't get emotional.
Oh,
but I understand though.
I can't even look in your eyes. You
know,
know, like,
I know them ones.
Don't cry. But anyways, so basically, I was just in a really, really crap situation. And the truth is, now when I look back at it, I'm like, that was the best thing that ever happened to me. Because if I was to go back to like my younger self, like if I was to take Ciara from 10 years ago and have a little word with her, I would just be like, try and just take some time to be on your own. I feel like often, especially when we're younger, we feel like pressure to be in relationships, to bounce from like situation to situation to situation. And, you know, like you almost become scared of being alone. And I think it's so important to take that time. I did nearly a year on my own, just totally on my own. And I was like, not even texting anyone. And it gave me some time to like, just see who I was.
Yeah.
And after a while, I was like, wow, I actually really like myself. And like, I like spending time by myself. I like
you too.
I like you too. We like each other. But you know, like I like spending time by myself, and that was something that I would never have done. And now I feel whole. I'm like, I don't need a partner. If somebody comes along and they elevate me, then that's amazing and that's great. But you know, the person who I was when I was in a relationship as well, a toxic relationship, was not a good person. Yeah. It was like the worst version of me. You know, it made me insecure. It made me angry. It made me, I didn't like women. You know, like...
Yeah, because he made you feel uncomfortable around other women, right?
Yeah, every woman was a threat.
Yeah.
You know, like, whereas now, to me, every woman is a friend.
Yeah.
You know, like, I meet someone, I'm like, so what do you do? Like, where'd you go to school? And it's like, oh, cool. Oh, yeah, nice. And it's amazing when you know, treat women like your friends, because it makes life so much easier. And it's amazing what you can do with each other.
Exactly.
You know, how much you can connect, how much you can bounce off each other. You might be able to call them up and say, I'm doing this, you know, would you be able to help on that? Whereas, you know, Ciara 10 years ago, you know, it was all down to like, everyone couldn't be trusted and everything. Yeah. It was just, you know, that toxicity breeds within you from whichever situation you're in. So I wouldn't take back the journey, because I think that it's totally made me who I am today, and I'm so much stronger for it. And I feel like I've got lessons now that I can help other people with. Like, you know, if I see it, I try my best. Like when I see my friends and I see a red flag, and, you know, I was talking about red flags to someone recently, and we were saying, you know, like now I'll spot something and I'll be like, you want to watch that one?
You recognise.
Just be a little bit careful. Like, whereas, you know, without that knowledge, without that experience, you know, without going through all of the hard times, I wouldn't be able to see that now. So I think now I have like a real tight circle of friends. I don't have many friends anymore, you know.
But
like
sometimes it's really the best way to be.
Yeah, and actually, like, there's no bitchiness, there's no drama. It's like everyone that I'm around, if I might meet someone, literally, you know, like bump into someone, and I will walk away and be like, I didn't like their energy.
Yeah,
and
the vibes are off.
Yeah.
The vibes are off.
Yeah, and then I know now, like, okay, that's not my type of person. Whereas when I was younger, I might have sought approval of that person, or
validation.
Validation. Tried to like befriend them, or tried to
impress them, or do something to make them make it just fit together. But you can't force a puzzle.
You can't force. Exactly. So I think that there's lessons to be learned in everything, and I hope that by, you know, being able to talk about my lessons, it stops other people from
repeating the same mistakes, or repeating the same, it wasn't even a mistake, as you said, because you learned from it, but repeating that same situation and that environment.
Yeah, totally.
Because sometimes you're not really aware of how toxic your environment is until someone who's been in the same space or been in that same mental space checks you and says, yo, like, what you're in right now, it's not good.
Well, actually, what's interesting is that people like what's familiar to them. And then if toxicity, if stress, if sadness is familiar to you, that's what you learn to you almost seek comfort in that.
Yeah.
You're used to that, so that becomes your world. And then when someone comes along after and is nice to you and treats you well, that's foreign. Alien. So you're not used to that. So you seek that. That's why people often go from, like, you know, toxic relationship to toxic relationship, because they seek out the drama. They seek out, because it's all that they know. So I think it's really important to, like, do that work on yourself to understand, why am I like this? You know, a lot of us are impacted by our environments. And if your environment is a negative environment, and, you know, if you're used to crying, if you're used to being sad, then you almost like go into autopilot, and you do need someone to sometimes pull you out and check you and say, this is not normal. This isn't how you should be living. Like, you could be happy if you chose to, like, take the step, but it's so hard to take that first step.
And I feel like, honestly, you sharing your story with us today is going to be the first step for a lot of people who watch this or share this with other people. And to anybody who is watching this, or any, like, women or men who are in a toxic environment, you can move on from it, and you can get yourself to a better place, and you can turn it into a fuel. Because look, we have Ciara sitting here right now, beautiful, happy, bossy business babe. And, you know, it's true. And you radiate positivity, and you honestly are the embodiment of someone who shows that if you remove yourself from a toxic environment, you can flourish and you can be the best version of yourself. And that's one thing that I really, really love and just adore about you, and why I'm so happy that people get to, you know, get a more in-depth look into who you are as a person. Because
it's very important to take note of that and take stock of it, because these are the things that weigh you down. And if you want to fly, you know, you can't do that while you are...
those weights.
100%.
The only weights that you should be having on you are the ones that you use when you're a part of the body squad, while you're wearing your LAPP X flannels look. You feel me? Okay? But while we're talking about LAPP, I see you got on your LAPP fit there. So just talk me through it. Give an honest review, you know. Just act like I'm not in the room.
Well, I tell you all the time, but, like, and as I say, I'm not, like, just gassing you up, but I get sent a lot of fitness clothes. You know, like, I could give, like, a very raw, review of most brands out on the market, because even down to things like, you know, does it show your underwear? Is it squat proof? You know, like, is there, like, a seam down the middle? Does it give you sweat patches? You know, like, there are so many different things that need to be taken into account when making you know, a fitness line. And I think what I love about LAPP the most is that I wear it not just for training. Like,
yeah, I know, you be looking cute sometimes.
Yeah,
I see you on Instagram.
It's so cozy. It's like, you have this way of, like, you know, like it's nice at the front, but also doesn't flatten your bum down.
I'm beaming. I'm like, yay.
No, it's also a nice material. I'm quite funny about materials.
So am I.
Sometimes I feel like they can be almost like a little synthetic. Do you know what I mean?
Like, I know what you mean. And not really breathable and a little bit uncomfortable.
Like it makes your skin crawl a little bit. It's like itchy almost. And these are just like, they wash well. My LAPP tracksuit, oh my God, I've worn it so many times. And like,
it's a staple.
Yeah, it's just stayed exactly as it is. Even sometimes black tracksuits, even they fade.
They fade a little bit.
It hasn't faded. Like,
that's right.
And I love the fit on it. It's like it's baggy enough, but then tight at the waist. Like even I said, you know, the triangle bra. I have like no boobs, guys. Like it just didn't change. Like so, I'm quite nervous of wearing like triangle pieces, and you know, it gave you like a really nice side boob and made me look like I wasn't as flat as I am, which I don't know how you managed to do that.
Yeah, I work miracles.
Yeah, you really do. And just even this, I was wearing this top with the shorts yesterday during my live workout, and you get a little bit of side boob on that, so it feels a bit like sexy.
Gives you a little push up, it gives you shape.
Yeah, and it almost feels like a halter neck at times as well, because of the way it's got like the racer back, and I'm genuinely a big fan.
She said 2 thumbs up, guys. Do you see that?
It's true. You know, like it's an amazing brand. And I said this to you recently. I just messaged you at like...
Yeah, she did. She sent me a voice note and it actually made my day.
Yeah, I was just like, you should be so proud of yourself. And I think that I'm a big believer now in like, I'm moving away from fast fashion. Like, I don't want any clothing brands in my wardrobe anymore that are, you know, I do not want £5 dresses. I don't want... You know, there's certain brands that I put in the washing machine. You get what you pay for, you know, like I put them in the washing machine and they change the colour of all of my clothes.
Yeah,
you know, like
they're disintegrating, they're falling apart, the dye is just...
Yeah, it's like, you know, it comes out the wash and I'm like, I can't wear this again, you know. And I think that we all need to start thinking more about which brands we are supporting and
where we're putting our money.
Yeah, and like if something's going to last and you can wash it and wear it over and over again, then it's an investment.
Yeah.
You know, like I just think it's really important to start to think about our planet and think about when you're shopping, what are you buying and do they care? And LAPP, I feel, you know, they care about the quality of the clothing, but they also care about the customer. And I think you should be really proud of yourself. It's an amazing brand.
Thank you so much. And as you said, it is so important to me and to my brand as well that we are having the positive impact with everything. It has to be 360 and it can't just be on the surface. And that's why as well for me it was so important to do the research on my factories, go and visit my factories, go and really know where my product's being made and what impact it's having on the people who are making it, wearing it, buying it, selling it. And yeah, I think that I've taken a lot of pride in that aspect, and I'm so happy when I hear people like you who do get to wear a lot of different brands saying that you noticed that about LAPP. So thank you so much.
Yeah, you honestly, you should be really proud of
make
yourself.
my head all big. So you inspire so many women. I want to know who inspires you.
Oh God, I mean, this is going to sound so again cliche. I'm coming like a big cliche today.
No, you're not.
But honestly, my mum, and I know that like my mum. But
no, because you want to know what? Everyone says it, and everyone has a different reason as to why. So that's why start with mum and tell us why.
Yeah, it's like. I think that often, like, I could say this person inspires me. There's so many people in business who inspire me and stuff. But, you know, like, sometimes you meet them and then you're like, oh. Yeah. Like, sometimes you meet your idols, kind of, and there can be a bit of a letdown, whereas my mum's never let me down. You know, like, and I think that my mum inspires me because I'm one of 4 siblings and she's so level-headed. I've never seen my mum, you know, like she's never not answered, not called me back. She is always there, and she's always worked since I've ever pretty much known her, like since I was 0. You know, she goes to work at 8 a.m. She finishes work at 3:30. She works in a school. Then she walks to her other job, and she finishes that at 10, you know, like, and often she's working another job on the weekends, and she's just, you know, she'll call me at 10 and she's so happy. Whereas after a long day of work, you can often be like, oh, I never get that. And so, yeah, it's my mum.
Oh, see, I need to meet her next.
Yeah, you can come meet Mumsy. Come out, we'll make you a nice Irish dinner.
Oh, yeah, okay. I'm actually going to hold you to that.
Yeah, so actually don't get too excited. It'll be like I don't even eat bacon anymore, but my whole life it was like boiled bacon and cabbage. So yeah, maybe not an Irish dinner.
Takeout then.
Yeah, we'll go for a takeaway.
Okay, and to round it up, tell me, what can we expect from Ciara in the future?
So I have, across lockdown, I've God, I don't know what to say. Not built, but I've got my own gym.
Well, you did basically build. You did build it.
So yeah, I've been basically going through the process across the last few months, and now we're pretty much ready to go. So it's a boutique gym based in Muswell Hill, North London. So anyone London, come head on over. And it's a really beautiful space. I
can't wait to see it.
Yeah, it's not like a gym. It's like
a wellness,
aesthetic,
holistic, beautiful. When you step in, you're meant to just feel like you're in a luxurious space.
Yeah.
Sounds fit for Leomie,
I think so. It's very LAPP. I could see LAPP in there. No, it's amazing. And so the goal is, you know, I want to open more. We now have squad members all over the UK, all over the world, really. So the goal is to I want to expand. I want to get this one open. I want to get it functioning, and then I want to open more. You know, we have so many squad members, even in South London, and just to get from South London to North London. Yes, there we go. So Leomie will be poster girl of the South London gym.
Yeah, but I'm still coming through though. I'm still coming through. Even
You're North first. Yeah.
I'm still coming
We've
through.
got a while for South. But you know, I want to just expand on that. The squad is moving to an app at the end of this month.
Exciting.
I've been working on it for about 9 months now, I think. And I've been kind of hesitant to move across, just because, you know, when you're just like, oh, is it right? And you know, moving 9,000 people and getting them across from one to the other, it's you know, it's a transitional period, but it's really exciting. I've got loads of merch, loads of new products that are coming out. We've just launched a BRX, which is, like a suspension trainer, got resistance bands, mats, we've got a step coming. So essentially, like a whole home gym kind of thing.
Well, I can't wait to add that to my house.
Yeah, wait, it'll look good. The step is actually really cute.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Just really heavily investing back into the business and growing the brand line. So yeah, it's been amazing. I think last year I used the word lucky and luck a lot. I've been so lucky, and I think, you know, I had a good chat with the squad one night, and one of the girls said, luck is when opportunity meets preparation. Yeah. And she was like, stop calling yourself lucky. And I was like, actually, it's true. And I think that it's taken me till now to realise maybe it wasn't luck. And actually, it was just a case of I'd been doing this for the last few years, and an opportunity came along. I was ready for the opportunity. And now it's a case of understanding, okay, cool. These are now 2 real businesses, you know? When the gym opens, that'll be 3. And it's you know, managing all of them and growing them, and, you know, taking a little more time for self-care as well, as we said earlier.
Well, you are literally one of my biggest inspos. You really are a boss who shows everybody that just focus on spreading positivity, being positive, and just being about your own business, and you're going to thrive. And I just want to say thank you so much for coming on the LAPP X Flannels International Women's Day interview series. And
Thank you for having me.
I can't wait to see what you do next, girl.
Wish me luck.